Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to talk about you guys and well everyone in general being a bit more open-minded, because it would make such a big difference on a lot of people's lives if you weren't so kind of stuck in your ways. And this isn't me trying to be woke or anything, this is just me trying to get people to be more understanding about other people's positions and what other people are doing. So, for example, I'm young. I'm only 18. I haven't had a huge amount of life experience, but I am doing what I can to get better, to improve myself. I am doing the majority of steps I can take. I'm taking those steps to get better, to improve, to build an audience, build a bit of a personal brand. I'm doing them to kind of progress myself. I'm doing the best I can. And I'm making the best content I can based off of my experience. And I can understand other people saying that they've had, could be twice, 3 times my age, saying, oh, well, I've experienced this because I've been on the planet much longer than you have. So if you've got that opinion, that's absolutely fine. But you don't have to come along and just tell people that they're wrong. You've got to be more understanding in the way that you've got to figure out what's their point of view, why are they thinking this way, what's led them to think this thing, and then why haven't they thought of the thing that you're thinking? What's different between your method and their method of thinking, your idea and their idea? How can you point out what you're thinking that's going to benefit them? How can you point out your idea in a way that's going to make them feel like they've learned something, but it's also going to make them feel better about themselves? Because that's the truth about kind of getting people to understand you. I got this from How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It's not really about just telling people that they're wrong, telling people the right way to do things, but it's more about getting them to think that idea in their own way, in their own time. So if you can push them along the right way and get them to understand what you're trying to say, and then slowly kind of drop hints into them developing their own opinion of that idea, then you can say you've helped, because you've brought along this kind of chain of events that has brought this new opinion, which is similar to yours. So you've helped them learn from it. But so many people are so close-minded, and they can't accept that other people are happy with doing certain things. They can't accept that other people have clashing opinions. And you've got to understand that a lot of people are happy with waking up and hiking all day, waking up going rock climbing, waking up and having that minimum wage job, but coming back to a really nice family. They don't want tons of money. They just want their family. And they're happy with that. And that's perfectly fine. That's absolutely fine. But if you say that you want more and you're not doing anything to get it, if you say that you want more and you're not doing anything about it, that's when there's a problem. That's when you can say, all right, if you actually want this, you've got to get your shit together. But otherwise, you can't really tell people what to do and what they're saying is wrong. If they want more and they're just sitting in a boring 9 to 5, they're not doing anything actively to progress themselves, then call them up on it. But if they're happy in their position and they don't want to change, they're enjoying life, they've got that great family, they're doing their walking or hiking or rock climbing, whatever it is that they enjoy doing, that's what they enjoy in life, then that's fine. Just let them do that, because that's all that they want. People bring happiness from different things, and some people aren't as driven as I am and as you may be. So you've got to be a lot more aware that some people just don't want it, and they'll make excuses. There could be some people that will just be open about it. They'll say, yeah, I don't want this. I'm happy with where I am. But then there'll be other people that say they want it, but they'll just make excuses. I haven't got time. I haven't got the effort. Burnout. They'll just keep making all these excuses to kind of manage their own failures, to allow themselves, to give themselves an excuse for being in that position for however long they've been in it for being 30, 40 years old and saying that they were going to achieve all of these things by 25. And they're now looking back and they're thinking, yeah, well, I didn't do that because of this reason. And they keep giving themselves excuses to make themselves feel better. But at the end of the day, deep down, they know that they haven't done what was required of them, that they didn't do what they said they do. So they're just trying to hide that from everyone else and make up for it by making excuses. But they know what they did, well, what they didn't do is the reason they're not in the position they want to be. But then they just end up taking that out on other people. And it's a real shame to see so much potential, because you can change your life around in an instant, no matter how old you are. And it's a shame to see so much potential just go down the drain, because you see so many people, they're of that age and they've kind of given up because they've just accepted that they're not going to do it, they're not going to make it just because they're a bit older. I accept that I'm only 18 and I've got a lot to learn, but I know that I am not going to peak for a long time. Physically, I'll probably peak around 35. Apparently that's like around when most males peak physically. Mentally, I plan to keep growing throughout my whole life. But again, they say you normally peak around 35. But I plan to do as much as I can, to grow as much as I can, opinions, knowledge, everything I can throughout my whole life. And that's what I want to do. That's what I've said I want to do, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to sit around and make excuses and say I didn't have time today, because I did. I've got time. I'm going to make time to do it. And if I haven't got time today, I'll make time tomorrow. I'll set out time to do that certain task. I will make sure I get it done, because I know that that is what is required of me if I want to reach this goal. And I'm perfectly fine with people I know, my old friends, saying, yeah, I'm happy with doing this job. I'm happy with going home to wife and kids at the end of the day and just doing that. They're happy with that, and that's perfectly fine. If they want that, and that's all they want, that's what brings them fulfillment and a fulfilling feeling, that's what fulfills them and just makes them happy, then there's no need for me to butt in and say, oh, you should want more, because if they're happy, who am I to tell them how to be happy? If they're enjoying life, who am I to tell them that they should enjoy it in a different way? Their opinion is their opinion at the end of the day, and you can help people, you can give them advice, but if they don't want it, then they're not going to take it. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So just remember that people will have very different opinions from you throughout your whole life, but that doesn't mean you can't get on with them. That doesn't mean you can't be friends with them. That doesn't mean you can't help them, because you can do all of these things and still be great friends with them just because they have a different opinion. You shouldn't let that get in the way of having a great friendship, having a great relationship with that person, just because they have a few different opinions, just because they don't want to be a millionaire, just because they don't want to be ultra successful, just because they don't want to go around and shag every woman they see. That doesn't mean that you don't have to be friends with them. It's all about who you want to spend your time with, and what you want from those people. So if you want to be around other people that you can make money with, then great, go and spend time with those people. Like, I can make money with you. I like the way you talk, the way you act, you have good values. I want you to be my friend. And you don't have to say that, but you say that to yourself, and you're like, okay, I'm going to make an effort here because I know this person's going to make some big steps. And if you don't want to spend time with that person that is just happy with their 9 to 5, then you don't have to. But don't go and tell them what they're doing is wrong. Don't go and tell them that, oh, you shouldn't be doing it this way, because that's not your position to say. If they're enjoying it, then just leave them to it. Let them have their fun. Because at the end of the day, you can only control your own mind. You can't control what other people think. And just work on yourself. And eventually you will surround yourself with the right people. You will surround yourself with the people that you actually want to be with, if you put the effort there. So just remember, other people will have opinions, and they will be different to yours. So don't expect everyone to just agree with what you say, and don't expect to kind of just be able to walk through life and think everyone should do it my way, if not they're doing it wrong, because that's not how it's going to be. Everyone will do it their own way, and everyone will work for it. And that's how it's going to work. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.